This is my time. This is your time. This is our time to spend a few moments just meditating on the presence of God in our midst. Just pause the subconscious for a while. And whatever you came into this place with, just set aside. All the people, all the situations, just set them aside for a moment and enter into your secret chamber so that you can hear yourself as it tries to communicate with you. Just let the music take you to a place that maybe you haven't been before, or you have not spent enough time there. Come to this place of peace where there is no separation between you and your Father. Feel the oneness. Just become an heir that all your Father has for you. Just surrender and realize that you've never been to this moment before. So don't drag the past forward. Just acknowledge that your Heavenly Father knows the things that you have need of. And in this moment, you are setting a trap to receive the goodness that is yours. Just tell yourself, I am ready. Speak, Lord, for I can hear. Speak, Lord, for I can hear. Speak, Lord, for I can hear. Just open up your mind. Open up your heart. And just receive. All gifts cometh down from the Father of lights. Let the light of the Christ in you open up the pathways for the truth to be revealed. That you are a powerful being, being able to create in your mind pictures of the future that are beautiful, that are true, that are good, of good report. Just paint a future that is in line and in keeping with the nature of absolute good, which is God. For as you walk by faith, just perceive the brilliance in this moment so you can carry it forward into the next. Realize it's only light. And if it's light, it's clarity. It's understanding. Just understand that I am. I am the perfect idea in God. And I am heir to all that is in this wonderful kingdom of absolute goodness. Just rest. Let your breathing be slow, without anxiety. For all that you have need of is right here, right now. No fear, no doubt. For you dwell in the kingdom of goodness. Just recognize that you are in the presence of all that is God. And let the dark clouds of yesterday roll by and allow the light to shine through. Declare to yourself, I am the light of the world. I let my light shine forth, for I am the light. Just feel that light moving right through your body from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Let every cell in your body be awakened to the light. Let every organ be full of light. And let your experience be full of light. Truly, truly, truly. Declare to yourself, I am the light. I am the light. I am the light. And just rest. Just fall away and rest. And so it is.
The thought for the week is by Evan. Let us refer to the bulletin and we shall read it together. Together, please. As I go forth from each moment, I am aware that I am getting nearer to that which I have asked for. As I keep my eyes focused on it, like a ship coming into the port, it gets clearer and bigger. We will now have a musical selection by the Voices of Praise.
There will be mountains that I would have to climb, and there will be battles that I would have to fight. But victory or defeat, it's up to me to decide. How can I expect to win if I never try. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe He brought me this far to leave me. Never said there wouldn't be trials. Never said I wouldn't fall. Never said that everything would go the way I wanted to go. But when my back is against the wall and I feel all hope is gone, I just lift my head up to the sky and say, help me to be strong. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe He brought me this far to leave me. No, You didn't take me out here to leave me lonely. Even when I can't see clearly, I know that You are with me, so I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe He brought me this far to leave me. Said I can't give up now. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe He brought me this far to leave me. Sing with us. Said I can't give up now. I just can't give up now. I've come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe He brought me this far to leave me. And I don't believe He brought me this far to leave me. And I don't believe He brought me this far to leave me. And I don't believe He brought me this far to leave me.
Thank you, Voices of Praise. Thank you, Richard. Today's lesson is part of the Dream series and is based on decision and asking. It will be given by the Reverend Evan Reed. Are you ready?
Thank you, Chantel. On February the 1st, 1987, I made a decision to take an idea in God and move it forward. It's 32 years ago. And I had to live, or I've had to live from the results of that decision. They have been painful moments, and moments of joy. There were moments when I wanted to redecide. But Job says, in Job 22:28, you shall decide on a matter, and it will be established unto you. Today we sit with an idea called Verity Centre for Better Living. I think it is established. Maybe not the way I saw it. But we just have to decide, stand firm, and let the universe do its thing in and through us. I look at my journey, and as I read the Old Testament and study the life of the Hebrew people, I realize that all of us are nomads, traveling in search of something, coming to oases and oases and having to move on when the supply has been depleted in that particular spot. And over the 32 years, I have realized that life is not meant to stand still. Because as spiritual beings, spirit is always on the move. And the place that we get stuck is in mind, when we think we have arrived. In reality, none of us know where we are going. But when you make the decision to go, you go. A dream is just a mental picture with no construction, just an image that you hold in mind. But to get to the dream and to make it tangible, you have to walk by faith. Just holding that dream in mind and deciding wherever you are, you cannot give up now. That you have to keep going, for you really don't know where you're going. And you don't know the time when the fulfillment will come. But as the 5 wise virgins, you have to keep walking with whatever is necessary. You got to walk with love. You got to walk with wisdom. You got to walk with strength. You've got to walk with all your spiritual qualities already charged and ready to go. For you don't know what the next situation will be that you will be called upon to take a different course that would lead you to the same outcome. Many of us believe that a dream is a solid thing, that once you see it in your mind, it's like something already constructed. And we don't realize that of ourselves, we can't construct anything. It is spirit in us that we know nothing about. We could only guess what spirit is. But we know that spirit moves us, that we are the thinkers that create the dreams. And all we can do is to hold those dreams and let spirit move us forward. This is my realization over the last 32 years. Because what I saw Verity is, at that time, is not what it has turned out to be. But Verity is still here. All the naysayers and all the outer principles that tried to derail it, once God is on your side, you can't ever be derailed. And I realized over the past 32 years is that what spirit does it takes a seed, just something with the potential, because back then all I was a potential. I knew nothing about building churches because I never went to church. I knew nothing about being a minister because they and myself weren't friendly. But one of the first things you learn when you make a decision is to humble yourself. And one statement that I keep repeating over and over is that I know nothing. To know is to be able to feel it and experience it as it comes up. I had a lot of knowledge that I had to apply and gain wisdom over the years in how to do the work that I was called upon. But I still know nothing, because I do not know what tomorrow will bring forth for Verity. We have come through some wonderful experiences where other people would have seen those circumstances as lack. But I was able over the years to see, once there is life and movement, there is possibility. It doesn't matter how empty the jar may appear, nothing in the universe is ever empty. Nothing in the universe is ever empty, because the universe abhors a vacuum. When you have to train your mind, as I had to do over 32 years, to realize I am always in the presence of abundance, that the harvest is always there. But if I keep seeing just stalks and not the corn on the stalk, I will always have an empty cup. So I'm grateful today, because as I was thinking about the journey, from that decision I made to do this work, I have gained so much by allowing Spirit to work through me. I have seen fullness. I have seen new plantings. I have seen crops die in the middle of the summer. I have seen a loss of faith in the winter. But when the spring comes, I always have hope that there will be a harvest, because I made a decision to bring about a harvest. You shall decide upon a thing, and it must come to pass. One of the foremost things, if you have not decided, it cannot come about. As soon as you decide, the ball will start to roll. When you don't decide, you are teeter-tottering, back and forth, sitting on the fence. And Scripture says, a double-minded person is always going to be whimsical in his or her ways, never experiencing the fullness of anything. You are the dreamer. All dreams come about from having a desire to fulfill a need. And through faith, we outpicture in mind. And by using imagination, we form the substance that we call God, that is ever present before us, and shape it. And then we must say, let there be. Make the decision to have it in your life. When you make the decision, you have to keep it focused. Your mind could no longer drift with suppose and if and whether and maybe. Once the decision is made, You got to stick with it. It comes like glue to you. You and it must become one. No greater love has a person than a person lays down his or her life for the friend. The friend is that which you have come to love, which is your dream. You must give all of you to your dream. This is a decision that you have to make. Therefore, shall a man give up everything and cling to his wife. You have to make that decision to love what you love with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your energy. If you make a decision that does not have the holding power, it is lost in you, and you are lost in it. Decision making is that point in time when you say, let there be. Let there be in my life this wonderful image that I have. Let it come into being. Whatever ye must be. With that kind of power. Why say let it be to smallness? If you can have the power for small, you have the power for big. How long would it take? That's the question that most of us ask. How long would it take for my dream to come true? No man knoweth the time nor the hour that the bridegroom will come. You just glue yourself to it and let it become your life. I have asked myself over the 32 years, Evan, is there a separation between you and Verity? And sometimes I hear a voice saying, do you love me more than the others? You have to lay down yourself for what you have decided to do. You can't be double-minded. You can't love two things at the same time. You can't serve two masters. If you decide to make a decision to serve two masters, well, you'll be wishy-washy. And you'll never learn the truth of unity and oneness. Until a decision is made, nothing could happen. Until a decision is made, there can be no results. Or the result that you would get is no decision. See, we don't realize that the results that we have in our lives came from the decisions that we made. Some of them, the non-decisions that we made, are the results that we have. Inconsistency and all that stuff that go on in our life, we don't realize it's from the decisions not to decide. Because not to decide is to decide. Isn't that wonderful? You are where you are. You see, the universe is always presenting choices to us. From left to right, there are choices that we can make. But there is one, and only one, that you could decide upon. As for me and my house, I will serve the law. My law is what I give my power to and what gives power to me. You gotta have a dream. If you don't have a dream, how are you gonna make a dream come true? Think about it. These are words of a song. And out of seeing that dream in mind, you got to make a decision whether you want to own it or not own it. You can't rent a dream. Not for lease. You have to own it. You know, I've given this analogy several times about the pig and the chicken. But it's appropriate now, so you're going to hear it anyway. A pig and a chicken, they're walking down the street. It's about 7:30 in the morning. And the chicken says to the pig, let's go have some breakfast. So there was a diner, and they came into the diner. So the pig says to the chicken, what are you going to have? And the chicken says, I'm going to have bacon and eggs. And the pig said to the chicken, at least all you have to do is to participate by laying an egg, but I have to be killed to get the bacon. Until you are ready to be killed, that ego part of you cannot live. The dream is what keeps you alive, because the dream has to be fulfilled before you depart this realm. So if you have no dream, you are out of it from the beginning. Our dreams motivate us. And if we could put our life into our dreams, we could live forever. Because it's that energy that we turn into soil and all the good stuff that is necessary to bring this invisible, intangible something into a tangible and visible form. That's all we are doing. All we are doing as spiritual beings is taking a little bit of spirit, converting it in our minds as a picture, and then saying, yes, this is what I want in my life. This is how I want my life to be. And by placing your attention on that intent and deciding that it must come true, it comes true. You have decided, and some of us decide, that this is the type of life that I want. But we still meddling with the old stuff. We still believe in our minds that we are not capable. That it's not the right time. That maybe God didn't mean for me to have this. And the mind is still, it's not the right time. These are not the right people for me to do a ministry with. And all sorts of thoughts come up. But Matthew 7:7 says, ask, and it will be given unto you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. To ask means to claim. When you ask, there is a knowledge inside that says, this is mine, and I have it. It's mine, so I could ask for it. I don't have to beg for it. I don't have to bend down on my knees for it. I can go and claim it. You've heard me said this, and I'm going to say it again. Let's suppose there's an uncle of yours who you didn't really know because you grew up one place, but you heard the name. And one day you get a letter in the mail with an official stamp, and you open it, it has a seal. And it says, Evan Reed, nephew of Willis Reed. This is a notice for you that your Uncle Willis has died, and he has named you as the heir to all that he had. And you look at the bottom, and you see $33 million in assets, 500 cattle in Texas, and in northern Ontario, 2 acres of snow. Now, it says you have to show up at the Christian Bank of Verity with the proper documents, 2 photo IDs, and you can make a claim to it. And you walk around with this letter for the next 500 years, suffering your poor self. Can the money ever be yours? What do you have to do? Put in a claim. I want to tell you this morning that the universe has favored you for you to be born at this time, surrounded by the opulence that is constantly being expressed around you. When you look at Toronto, all these skyscrapers going up, all the evidence that Toronto is a prosperous city, and you are sitting in a small, roach-filled apartment with a letter in your head saying, you are the heir to all that I have. Son, you are the heir. Daughter, you are the heir to all that I have. All that I have is thine. And you still celebrating poverty. Something is wrong with it. You still celebrating unhappiness and ill health. And all that your father has is yours. You are walking around with your birthright here, signed, sealed, and delivered, and you still catching your royal donkey. Isn't that sad? Hello now. A lot of us talk about God, how good God is, and God is bigger than us, and God is this. Prove me this day and see if what you are saying is true. Making a decision to claim and not claiming is the same way as not knowing what your birthright is. And a lot of us who are well educated have a lot of information that tells us who we are and what we can do. And we stay with the information, sitting in a nest and re-sitting on it, hoping that it will hatch. It ain't go hatch. It hatches when you get it. That faith without works is dead. The work is mental. I got to believe in myself. I got to believe in the dream. I got to believe that the universe has charged me to go forth and deliver this wonderful whatever it is, so that the whole universe could participate in it. That's why we're here. It's to let the good in us to come forth, so that the whole universe could help us share the good that is God. Let your light shine, that other people will see it and glorify your Father which is in heaven. That's one of our purposes. Why have this fantastic stuff going on in your head, and you alone could sit down with a stick of gum, chew on your gum, and just enjoy it in your head? No. You are meant, like any cell in the body, to bring your body to life. Every dream that you have comes from the universe to you as something special that you alone could bring forth. When you realize how gifted you are and how powerful you are, you shall decide a thing, and it must come to pass. You must claim it with all your life, with all your heart, with all your soul. This is mine. Hello, this is mine. We are so conditioned to believe that what others say of us is the truth, and what spirit in us is saying is a lie. That can't be so good for me. Sometimes, you get these little things popping up inside of your mind. And that's too good to be true. I'm not going to do that. I don't know. Because they said, based on who they said I am, I can't achieve that. That's what they said. Prove me this day that you are my heir, and with me you can do all things. That's your challenge. Your challenge, my challenge, is to become who we are. Because who we are is always greater than what we think we are. Because who we are has no limits. But what we think we are is limited. Unlock the chains that bind you. Free yourself. Kick your heels like Dorothy. Put your finger in the air like E.T. Tell yourself, I am going home to my father's house like the prodigal son. I am going home. Because home is where I belong. And you realize you have always been home. You never left home. It's only in your mind. Have you ever woken up to the truth that I've trapped myself in this patch of tar? Is I created the tar. I must arise to find myself, to free myself. For I am the trapper. I am the trap. And I am the only one could release me from the trap. Have you ever realized that? Have you ever realized that by claiming you are the trap and the trapper, until you realize that inside of you, you can't change it. If you keep blaming on other people for your poverty, your sickness, your lack of your unhappiness, you will never change that. You got to claim it. All that is right with me came from me. All that is wrong with me came from me. Come on now. A lot of us are bent on changing our relationships with others. Change yourself. And suddenly, your relationships will change. Work on changing you. Work on changing you. You don't have to do anything with you. Just as I am without a plea. Just accept me who I am. and claim that who you are is the best that you can be. Claim it. Decide this moment that you are the best in your life. And now claim that as your truth. Hold it. Hold that as your truth. And now walk with that in front of you every moment of your life. This is how it works. Until you claim it, it is not yours. When you have claimed it, it's yours. And always remember, whatever you claim, you have to pay tax on. So when the stuff come up in your life, you got to take care of it. Hello now. The taxes that you have to bear with responsibility means that you are in charge. You got to take care of everything in your life. No more putting aside and shifting and blaming. You got to claim. To claim is to take ownership of. As I said, Scripture says in Matthew 7:7, ask or claim, and it shall be given unto you. As soon as you say, this is mine, not other people's properties, eh? No. Not other people's stuff. My dream is mine. Claim it. And you will find yourself sometimes. Have you ever felt alone? Hello now. But that's the best time in life because you are concentrated on the search. Because when you are searching for something, everything else disappears because your focus is on that thing, right? You ever experienced that? Anybody has ever searched for something? You ever search for your glasses and don't see the other glasses around you or whatever? And you will knock at every door until you find it. In every heart, there's a dream. It says, and your young man shall dream dreams, and your old man shall have visions. One and the same. Once you have consciousness, your mind will always open to newness. Because you are a creature of potentiality with enormous possibility to bring the potential into being. Every mind is creative. That means every mind can shape and form the invisible substance. Every mind can do that. But those who achieve, they were focused, they decided to do it, and they claimed it as mine. Verity is mine. You got to say that too. Until you say verity is mine, we will just be a collection of individuals working on separate dreams. But until you say verity is mine, you cannot join me to make it ours. God bless.
Let me hear you say, lion to the races. Here we go. Tell me that you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
I don't believe you. Tell me that you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Come on, let me hear you say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Let me hear you say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Let's go from the top. I know a place where ain't nobody crying now. No, no, 'cause ain't nobody worried. Cause all I see are smiling faces. Choir, let me hear you say,
Lion to the races.
Yeah, let me hear you say that you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Come on, let me hear you say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Just the ladies say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
All right now, fellas, say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Let's do the fellas on there, take me there.
I'll take you there.
Verity, let me hear you say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Let me hear you say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Everybody say that you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Now let's say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Let's whisper it now, say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
All right, as low as you can, say you'll take me there. I said as low as you can, say you'll take me there. All right, now loud as you can, say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
Come on, let me hear you say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.
One more time, let me hear you say you'll take me there.
I'll take you there.